Big day today. I finally got fed up with my Contour Roam3 for making the bike movies. It had its strengths and it had its weaknesses. It is infinitely configurable, it's waterproof, it's got the revolving lens, and it's got a very good means of attaching it to your helmet. But that's exactly what I don't do. I don't have cameras attached to my helmet because I think it's dangerous. Helmets are also designed to be aerodynamic, and you're ruining that if you stick a huge great lump on it. And apart from anything else, you end up looking like, well, a tit, in my opinion. So I did a bit of research, which I spectacularly failed to do when I bought the Contour. When I saw Tech Moan was using it, I just went for it. And I didn't really pay attention to his remarks, which was that the main reason he got it was because of the excellent mounting system on the side of the helmet, and that's exactly what I don't use it for. And he also criticised the chips in it, which are a bit out of date, which I agree with. I don't think the exposure is very good on it. So I've never been really happy with it, so I've replaced it. And after doing a bit of research, I decided to get the Sony, the AS30 Sony. And the main attraction of this camera is that it has an image stabilisation system. Now, I'm going to show you in a minute how I mount the cameras on my bike, and you'll see why my movies have quite a lot of vibration in them. I'd rather have vibration than be unsafe, to be quite honest. And neither of these cameras is really the right shape to. Tech Moan's done a video on this where you can, like attach a bit of card and put it in your motorcycle jacket pocket. Well, A, my favourite motorcycle jacket doesn't have pockets like that, and B, the camera's in the wrong shape. I mean, you can't attach, you can't do it that. You really would look like a tit then, wouldn't you? And the Sony, which I'm about to unbox, is the same thing. So let's do a quick unboxing. I think unboxing videos are pretty naff, but I'll show you anyway. Here's the very exciting package. Okay, we'll just slip off this plastic. See how it comes. I ordered this directly from Sony, by the way. There's this is the AS30V, and if you look on eBay and Amazon, the original model AS30 has been upgraded, as far as I can tell, to the AS30V, and there's all sorts of confusing adverts on eBay. You see AS30s advertised as low down as sort of 120 quid odd, but when I looked at them, they're also listed as AS30V. When I looked at them, I'm pretty sure they're the old model. And it all got very, very confusing. So in the end, I decided just to go straight to Sony. And I paid 160 quid for this, which is actually 20 quid cheaper than the Contour. So it's an expensive camera. Not as expensive as some of the Sony cams, which got up to sort of 350 odd. Or was it 315? But over 300 quid anyway. Which I don't want to spend on this sort of, it's a hobby. It's not 300 quid hobby. It's a 150 quid hobby. Okay, so we'll open up the box here. Okay, and you are presented with this. What do we get? Invoice. Right, this was, I can give you the exact cost. It doesn't list the exact cost. So you get this in the box. Here it is. How do you get into it? Let's take this cardboard off. There's something I can cut. Like awkward little flaps. Okay. pull that out, that's presumably the gubbins. And out comes the camera. Ah, there's a screw. Hang on. Okay, I found a 20p piece that fits the screw. Oh, come on. Okay, that's it. And off this comes. Yeah, so there's the cam in its waterproof case. It's not waterproof out of the box, the actual cam. Okay, you get this case with it. Already it feels like a really nicely built little thing. And in this separate box here, you get chunky instructions by the looks of it. And under here we have a couple of Sony action cam stickers, which on the unlikely event I want to use them. They're there. A USB cable, mini USB, and down at the bottom here, mounts. There's a curved one, which is obviously for a helmet, which I'm not going to be using. There's a sticky one. This is presumably the battery in there. Oh no, there's the battery. So in here we have the sort of tray mount thing. Okay, well, I'll go into how all that fits together later. What I'm going to do now, it's one of the rare days where we can actually see the sun here in the UK. I want to test this against the Contour today. And hopefully what I'm going to do is go out around Breeden Hill, because the roads around Breeden Hill are appalling. The road surface is terrible. And the main reason I bought this camera, as I said, is the image stabilisation system. So what I want to do is go along the same track of road twice with the Contour and then the Sony, and we'll see what sort of difference. If I can find a way to run the movies side by side, we'll see the difference the image stabilisation system makes on the Sony, considering my mounting method, and also difference in you know, the picture quality, which I'm expecting the Sony to be a good deal better. I've messed around with the exposure on the Contour, but I never got it right. I've never been happy with it. So I will see you when I've charged the battery on the Sony, warmed the bike up, and I'll show you the mounting system I use to make my motorbike movies. Okay, I've got the bike out and warmed it up. And here is the mounting system I use, which explains the vibration, doesn't it? Because it's just attached to the fairing. It takes the place of one of these bolts here that keeps the screen to the actual fairing. And that is why it vibrates so much. I'd rather have vibration than not be safe though. I'll just show you how the Contour fitted on there. It's pretty obvious, but okay, so you'll be going along like that. One of the good things about the Contour is you can turn it on just like this, and that's on. And underneath here it has a laser system whereby you can level the camera off, which I must have used all at once. But it also has, of course, this rotating lens feature, which, as you can see on this setup, I've got to be more or less level. It's ever so slightly off. These are nice features, but they're not ones that, you know, I paid a lot of money for those features. Things like the laser leveling system I use precisely once or twice, you know, and I feel with the Contour I spend a lot of money on stuff that I just don't use, like the infinite configurations and what have you. They're just not applicable because this is the only thing I use it for. I just want one set of settings that does the lot. And here's the case to the Sony, which I'm hoping is going to fit, which it does, which is great. That should be fine. So that's good news. The camera obviously fits inside the waterproof case when it's charged. That's excellent news. And just while I'm here, let me show you my first ever attempt at growing flowers. It's quite amazing. I've just bought some cheap flowers off the market, and rather than just keeling over and dying, which was what I was expecting, they have in fact flourished, which makes sitting out in my little courtyard here extremely pleasant, I can tell you. And well, here's my favourite possession with the Sony camera case installed. Right, I'll get back to you when I got out on the bike and we're ready to do the demo runs, when I found a suitable stretch at Breeden Hill. Unfortunately, the clouds, it's beginning to cloud up a bit, which is a bit of a shame. But hopefully the camera will be charged. Hi, I've just been out and done the filming. There's been a slight change of plan, in that I went round Breeden Hill, doubled back, changed over to the Sony camera and everything like that, and double recorded a stretch of road, and then found that the Sony wasn't recording at all. I obviously don't know the camera well enough yet. So what I did was I got back here, I recharged it for half an hour, and then I went out round at Turley Appley route, and we're going to compare it side by side with footage I took on the Contour a week or so ago. Same sort of day, bright but cloudy, and we can have a look at the difference between the two. Okay, here we go. Here's the Contour on the left and the Sony on the right. As you can see from the blue sky and the Contour and the clouds and everything, it's the same sort of day. Well, what can you say? I mean, I probably never got the exposure right on the Contour, but also it's just generally muddier. And although you can see now that the mount on the bike needs to be adjusted to accommodate the Sony, so it's vaguely level, you're getting a much better picture from it. The angle on the Sony I've got it set at the moment is 170, which I think I might knock down to 120, which would make it roughly the same as the Contour, as you can see, because things look a little squashed, and that'll sort of bring them a bit closer. But obviously the Sony is doing a much better job. It might be that I've messed up the settings on the Contour entirely, but that was one of my criticisms of the Contour, was that there's too many bloody options, to be quite honest. You know, there's all sorts of things you could get wrong. The Sony bleached out a bit there. Right, well, I'll just let this run for a bit, and then we'll have a look at the software that comes with the cameras, and the difference between manipulating the Sony and manipulating the Contour. Okay, I think we've seen enough, haven't we? Right, okay, we'll stop it there and go and have a look at the software. Okay, here's a look at the software that comes with the two cameras, and this is a clear win for the Contour. The Contour Storyteller software is on the left. One of the differences between the two cameras is that there's no screen on the Contour, so all your configuration is done on this little bit of software. There's other features there as well, but this is where you configure the camera. And look at that, there's the old 1 position, 2 position thing. And you can see the settings I had it on, which they've been on for months and months and months. Very easy to use, I like that. We'll hide that. And the software that comes with the Sony, because you configure the camera with the screen, the built-in screen on the camera. This is sort of like combining videos and importing videos, bit of software, nothing to threaten iMovie. And it won't let me delete any files. And it won't even let me delete files if I go into the Finder, select them. These are photos on the hard disk, on the disk on the camera. Look, I'm dragging them to the trash there, and you get a message. That's the message. You can't delete it. And if you do get info on it, in fact, I've only got read permissions. I haven't got read or write permissions. I've looked up in the manual how to delete files, and tried, and I got as far as getting a message from the software saying there's no source to delete them from, which is bollocks, because there it is in front of you. So I think that's a bit of a waste of time, and I might well be throwing this bit of software away. Yeah, not very useful at all, to be quite honest. And then there's this other thing here, it says sign in, which I've just clicked. Now remember, I've got a fibre connection here, so this is obviously going online, and it appears to be just a register thing for this bit of software, which I'm going to throw away anyway. So frankly, I think we can do without that. So much of this sort of proprietary software is crap. The Contours isn't though. I mean, it's a clear win for the Contour, this, to be quite honest. Yeah. And here we go, there's the Storyteller software again. Yeah, clear win for the Contour in this respect. Okay, that concludes my very quick comparison between the Contour and the Sony. I think I'm going to get much better pictures out of the Sony, to be honest. The vibration thing didn't seem to make all that much difference, but it just looks, on very quick acquaintance, it looks just like a better camera, frankly. Now, the Contour, what am I going to do with the Contour? Well, my motorcycle mechanic lives about 200 yards as the crow flies from here, down a little back road in Tewkesbury. And he's not the richest guy in the world, and he's going to the Isle of Man this month to record laps. And I happen to know he's got a really crap camera he's planning on taking with him. So, as a token of goodwill, I'm going to try and give this to him, the Contour. I doubt he'll accept it. His pride will not allow him to accept it, and he'll insist on paying me or something like that. But I'll try and trade it with him for a service and a little bit of fairing work, because about 10 days ago I may or may not have dropped the bike and slightly damaged the fairing, and it needs patching up and repainting. I'm sure we'll think of something. Okay, that's it. So in future, all the motorbike cams are going to be done with Sony. I'll have to do some work on the mount to get the angle right, so the sort of so the pictures are more or less level. That's going to be a bit of a problem. And that's it. Bye bye Contour. Hello Sony. Thanks very much indeed for watching.